Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Alpaca with Budget with Alpaca. If you're new here, I'm a wife, a mom of two, and I also work full-time. I'm on a debt journey, a debt freedom journey, if you will. I have been on again, off again with my budget for several years now, and very recently decided that enough was enough and it was time to buckle down and get serious about saving and paying off our debt. I use the zero balance cash stuffing method, as well as using savings challenges to help me with savings. If this is something that you are interested in, if this is something that sounds interesting to you, or if you are also on your own debt freedom journey and you would love some encouragement, I would love for you to join us here. We are a fun but small little community and we would love to have you a part of it. Please like, share, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Let's get into the video. Okay guys, I have filmed this video, I don't even know how many times. I filmed it, all of the money that I had counted in the previous video, I've already, it's already in its envelopes, it's already been put away because, like I said, I've already filmed this. For whatever reason, I decided that I didn't like it. I didn't like how I filmed it. I didn't like how it sounded. I don't even know if I like how this one sounds, but in any case, we're gonna redo it. With some caveats. Okay, so the first one that we're gonna do is the budget video, right? Like, we need to get into the very basics. First and foremost, I know, this is for our paycheck of 3/7, and I know that we get paid this Friday, which means that there's no schedule. I don't have a schedule for these videos, and I apologize. It is something that is on a priority of mine. It is on my list of things to get done here soon, so hopefully going forward we will have a sort of set schedule that you guys can know that on this day, at this time, this is when the video is going to come. As of right now though, with my work schedule, with my life schedule, it just isn't happening. That being said, let's jump into this. I want to know what you guys think. I have the assumed budget, the expected budget already done. Normally I would take the time and I would go through all of it, but I don't think that's necessary really. I'll just hit the main points of it. But if you guys would like to see that video created where it's doing the expected budget just in itself, by itself in a video, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to pick your brain about that because I think that that might be helpful just to kind of see like where we started and then where we ended. And this isn't even where we've ended because things have gotten a little crazy. I didn't get to the bank, as you guys know. I did not get to the bank, and I don't know if I'll even get to the bank this Friday, which is not ideal. It is what it is, but the bank is a little bit of a ways away, and with my work schedule, I struggle with knowing if I have enough time to clock out for my lunch, get in my car, get to the bank, and get back, because it's kind of hit or miss as far as like if the tellers are going to be fast or not, because I only get a 30-minute lunch. So we'll see what happens on Friday. That being said, this projected budget, I had projected we would have about $3,000. We actually ended up having $4,509.16. This was because both my husband and I had a promotion. We both got he got an actual promotion. I got kind of bumped up to the next level in my job category. And then also I had my special project that I do for my company. So that's why for his was $1,680.18, and then for mine it was $2,318.12. That's not a normal check. That's not what the check is going to be, even with the promotion. With the promotion, my checks will be right around $1,400. for this first paycheck, and then our company gives us a bonus depending on how we perform with our I don't know, just with our performance, I guess. We get a bonus each month. This month, I think we only hit like 85 or 86% of our goal, so it's not going to be very much. It'll probably be maybe 1,500 for this coming paycheck. But for this one, this was mostly because the promotion that I got was retroactive. It had a merit increase plus the promotion, and that was both retroactive back to January 1st. So that's why this one is so high. And then we had a leftover bank balance of $10.86, and then I also had the $500 saved from the rent, which brought us to $4,509.16. About 1,500 over what our estimated inflow total was going to be. Went ahead, all of these have already been paid. As you can see, I've already got check marks here. Our expected fixed expenses was going to be $1,923. It ended up being $2,411.05. The reason being is that with the rent, I had only budgeted $1,000, but I actually went ahead and paid the $1,500 out of the bank and then left the $500 in cash to put into our variable spending envelopes as well as savings goals. So that is why it's a little bit higher. That would have left us with $1,077 for our expected leftover. We actually were left over with $2,098.11. Coming down here, our budget this is where things kind of get a little hairy. And this actual amount, I need to figure out a better way to do this because this actual amount is not correct. When I'm doing my budget, I like to I guess this is how I do it, right? Like I know that this budget category is supposed to be the actual budget that we're sticking to. This is supposed to be what we're spending up to 250, up to 125, up to 160, up to 50, 190, and so on and so forth. However, that is not how I use it. I use it as this is kind of what I'm expecting our budget to look like based on the leftover amount. But I know that if the leftover amount is smaller or higher, these will get tweaked when I actually get paid. That being said, I had put $200 aside for groceries. We've overspent that by a lot. I think it would have been easy. It should have been closer to 250. And even then, I think it's still over. I know when I first did the calculations, we had spent over like I think $29 of this $200 budget, and then spent another $26, which brought us closer to 250. But I have to run back out again today actually to get some milk and some other things, so it probably theoretically should have been closer to like 275 or 300. Therapy is correct, it's $114. Harrison's therapy was $160, that was also correct. Meds actually ended up not being $50, it ended up being like right around $14-15 because we both have HSAs, and so we just used our HSAs for our different medications. And then taxes, I was able to put out the $190 because of the groceries being paid with my debit card. I paid with the debit card, so then I didn't need to use that cash that I had saved from rent into the groceries. I just used the debit card, which is also how we overspent, right? I've said it before, I'll say it again. I prefer to pull the money out because then I know that there's no money in the bank. I can't use the debit card, so there's no way to overspend. We have what we have, and that's it. When I don't get to the bank, it makes it harder for our brains to switch. Yes, I have prop money that I use, and I stand by prop money. I think that prop money is a really good tool. However, we have not used our prop money in a very long time because, like I said, we've been on again, off again. Um, and it just takes a different type of shift in our brains to go from seeing like a small balance in the bank to seeing a larger balance but knowing that that's actually already counted for. So that's something that we do have to work on, especially because, like I said, if I don't get to banks often enough, I will have to start using my prop money more often, and I want to use my prop money. I love my prop money. I think it's really cute, and I really like it. I think it's a really useful tool. In case a lot of these numbers are not correct because of overspending. Gas is 40 here. I think it'll probably be about 20. I still have not gotten gas. I have to get it today. So we'll see how much I spend there. But we have $48 in the bank right now as of this exact moment. Because eating out. Previously, we were at $38. It says 50, so we were under budget for eating out, which is amazing. And then we went to Chipotle. I thought that it would be like $30, maybe. It wasn't. I don't know why I always think that it's going to be cheaper than what it was. It was $50, which is what it is. It's not a big deal because I mean it is a big deal, but it's not a big deal because it's not like that $50 is going to break us. Maybe 3 or 4 months ago, that might have made me very anxious and very nervous for what was to come. But because I have been able to pay off so many Affirm payments and other things, it doesn't bother me as much. In any case, so that brought it actually up to about $100 instead of 50. We overspent by 50. Plus, I also went to McDonald's the other day and spent $8. So overspent by like $60 in eating out so far. And then the buffer that I'll be lucky if there's like a $5 buffer by the end of this week. And that's just the way it is. It is what it is. So in any case, using these numbers, it would be about $829.35 variable expenses, which would leave us with a leftover amount of $1,268.76. Again, not 100% accurate. I don't have the mental capacity to try to pause and do that calculations. Maybe I'll try to do it after I'm done with this. I don't know. Just know that we overspent a lot. Maybe that's something that I'll make a video on, is just looking at our expenses and tracking. That's something that I need to do. I need to track how we spend our money more closely than what I already do. In any case, we're going to skip over here to debt. I always do, when I'm doing my budget, I always go from fixed to variable to debt and then up to savings, because savings right now is like on the back burner so that we can get a lot of these payment plans taken care of. So Diamond Art Club shop pay monthly, which I think was like $30 or $40 a month for 12 months. I think I paid I budgeted $244 for it, ended up paying $243.45. that paid it off. It was completely gone. Klarna, if you notice, I actually have a payment up here for Klarna for $74.81. This was not for the tickets that I've mentioned in the past. This was actually for my husband's candles. His birthday was this past weekend on the 15th of March, and he really loves candles, so I went out and bought him some Yankee candles when they were having a really good sale last month, and that is the pay in for um, payment amount, basically. That being said, I did go ahead and already pay that off. It was after I made that $74.81 payment, I paid $140.92, and that paid it off completely. And then we have an afterpay payment. That was for our cat's litter. I use afterpay with PetSmart, and then I just try to pay off that balance. The next paycheck, because I don't want it to linger, basically. Um, and so that was $36.98, so that is gone. That's no longer an issue. And then Affirm, because of all the Affirm payments that we had paid off previously, we were able to pay off, and because of the increase in the check, right? Not just because we paid off the stuff, but because of the extra income from these two checks. We were able to pay $739.39 off. So that was several more Affirm loans that were able to be paid off. That being said, does that mean that I no longer have Affirm? No. No, it doesn't. I still have Affirm. I think when I did check them off, I think I was down to like 4 at the time, but then I added two more. I want to say I added 2 more, but those are going to be paid off again, hopefully with this next paycheck. What I'm trying to do is limit how much I use Affirm, but I'm also trying to be more mindful that if I'm going to use it, that I don't use it on high expenses. Because what I've found is that when it's a higher expense, like, a $500, $600 expense, it becomes more daunting to me to think about just throwing $600 to one payment, um, for one payment plan, right? That's so much more daunting than like dispersing that to 3 or 4 or 5 smaller plans. And so that makes it harder for me to get behind this idea of paying it off quickly. So what I'm doing, if I do use Affirm, I'm only using it on smaller purchases, like under $200, that I know, because of where we're at financially right now, I can pay that off within 1 or 2 pay cycles. And if we need to, we can keep it open while we pay off others, but that's not the goal, right? The goal is to not have any of these, or to use them wisely. So that's what we're working towards. I do have one other shop pay open. That's a shop pay and for, because Diamond Art Club released a diamond painting that is a companion painting to another one that I already have. So I went ahead and got that this past weekend? No, it was 2 weekends ago. So there is that, but otherwise, like I said, that one also should be paid off this weekend with this next check. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to fret about it. Yeah, that's it. That's everything. And then the savings challenges up here, it says I was going to save $145. We actually, because of all the overspending, because like this isn't even all of it, there was some other expenditures that came out as well that were not planned for, that were just kind of like on the whim, between myself and my husband. Like we overspent this time, and that happens, and a lot of times it happens because we don't get to the bank, and so then one or both of us don't know what's already accounted for, right? So, in any case, I do have the cash here, and we will be doing 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, $56 for our savings challenges this week. It would be a little bit more, but again, we're a little bit less mindful than I had anticipated being. Obviously, you guys saw, maybe you saw, the cash counting video. That was what the intended amount was going to be that we are going to be stuffing, and that is not the amount that ended up getting stuffed. I did stuff $190 for the taxes, that is taken care of. The $160 for Harrison's therapy and the $114 for my therapy, those have all been taken care of. And then the rest, the remaining amount, is this. And so, it is what it is. That's real life, right? Like that's what happens when best laid plans and all of that. And all we can do is be honest and know where our faults are and know what we need to do for next time and keep pushing forward, right? So that's it. That's all. That's all I've got today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you stuck around. If you're still here, please don't forget to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you a part of this community. Thank you again for joining us, and I hope you guys have a great day.